Hi, Carl here for Proav TV. Now, the Canon C100 Mark II isn't the newest camera on the market by any means, with the Mark II being released in 2014 and the original C100 being released in 2012. But even now in 2018, we still have plenty of interest in the camera from our customers. So here are 5 reasons that the C100 Mark II is still relevant now in 2018. So first up is possibly the most important aspect of any camera, and that's image quality. The image from the C100 Mark II is great. It's got a Super 35mm sensor which delivers Full HD images, and even in its 8-bit 420 AVC HD internal codec, it looks really good. Now, if that isn't high enough quality for you, then the camera offers uncompressed video via its HDMI port, which allows you to pair the camera with an external recorder and effectively makes it broadcast quality. You also get C-Log, YDR and standard gamma profiles to choose from. Now, there's no 4K here, but you do get very sharp and practical 1080p, which is more than good enough for most work. Unlike DSLRs and mirrorless cameras, the C100 Mark II has XLR inputs which are built into the camera. The 2 XLR inputs are built into the camera's top handle, along with the easy-to-use audio controls. There's also a hot shoe mount and a microphone cradle on the top handle, allowing you to easily attach microphones for an interview or a run-and-gun style setup. The built-in microphone on the top isn't bad either, and it's great for scratch audio, but it is good enough quality that it can actually save you if you're in a pinch and your sound equipment fails. Canon's C line of cameras have always been brilliantly designed. The design and build quality has of course improved with their newer cameras, but it's all an evolution of the design of the C100. In fact, I often hear customers reference the C100 as the camera which they've enjoyed shooting with the most. There's just something about the size and design of this camera that really works. I mean, the side handle is very useful, with a joystick for access to settings, a record button and a signable button as well as a wheel. It gives you much more control over the camera when you're using it handheld. The top handle means you can easily grab it and go whenever you need to. The EVF is adjustable and it means you can see your image when it's too bright outside to see this LCD screen, and this LCD screen is easily movable to pretty much any angle. Now, lots of cameras have built-in NDs, but it is such a useful thing to have. When shooting outside on a bright day, being able to quickly drop in an ND filter to control your exposure and keep some shallow depth of field is of course so useful. Yes, you can use ND filters that screw onto the front of your lens, but they just aren't as convenient as having them actually built into the camera. You also get a whole host of exposure tools, so that's waveform, peaking, zebras, things like that. Now, these are quite common in many newer cameras, but they're still incredibly useful features. Being able to easily toggle each of them on and off through one of these buttons here on the side of the camera is extremely useful. It lets you quickly check your focus or your exposure. The tool that I'm definitely most pleased to have in here is the waveform. Most lower-end cameras don't include a waveform, and in my opinion, it is by far the best way to judge exposure. For me, waveforms are a must-have feature for any video camera. And of course, the last big reason that people are still interested in the C100 in 2018 is the price. At just over 2,500 XFAT, the C100 is one of the cheapest large sensor video cameras that we sell. At this price point, most people would be looking at a mirrorless camera or a camcorder. Really, the only other large cameras which are designed for video use like this in its price bracket are the JVC LS300 and the Blackmagic Ursa Mini 4K, so that's the one with the older sensor design. So in that company, I think the C100 is definitely a solid choice. So there we have it. If you don't want 4K and you need a solid workhorse video camera, the Canon C100 Mark II could still be a really sensible choice for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.